Hi, let's talk about shoes and boots. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to footwear, generally speaking, but I've gone through a lot of different shoes and boots since I ruptured my Achilles back in January, which has been almost 3 months ago. And so I figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about the various footwear that I've used and gone through over that period of time during the various stages in my recovery process. First off, what did I start out with? This is the first boot. So when I first had my injury and I was trying to get an appointment with the sports medicine doctor, I called my primary care doctor and they recommended I get myself a boot. Basically just like any sort of boot would work for this part of time that I was in. And so I went to Amazon and I found this and it was really great. I actually was able to order this and get it delivered a couple hours later just on Amazon. I've really never had that happen with Amazon, but this product, it worked out that way, which is great because I really needed it as soon as possible. I used this and I also luckily had my friend who let me borrow her crutches. This bad boy served me well for a good couple of days, but haven't used it since, but I'm still really glad that I had it and that it was useful in protecting my leg during the initial injury. Which then leads me to my second boot, which is this one. Modeling the boots. Okay, so this was a medically prescribed boot that my sports medicine doctor, my orthopedic surgeon, gave me at the doctor's office. Of course, insurance paid for it and I paid a little bit for it as well. But it has this, what do you call it? Mechanism on the side, which will position the boot either up or down depending on what your medical condition calls for. And it was actually quite comfortable from what I remember compared to my other boot. I was like, this is actually really nice. And man, this boot served me well. I was living and breathing and doing everything in this boot for a long time, 7 weeks, I think. Before my surgery, I was wearing this. After my surgery, I was in a splint for about 8 days, and then I switched to this boot. This thing was great. If you do, once you do get one of these, highly recommend getting yourself some long socks. I also ordered a couple of these, super clutch. I actually ordered socks for my first boot because it's still tall. It's not as tall as this one, but you might as well if you have one of these boots. These were my boots. Oh, the chapter has ended. Okay, that was kind of lame. Okay, anyway, I also, now that I've been walking around, I still have this boot in case I ever need it. My thoughts are, if I ever I'm finding myself in a crowded place and I'm still not sure how comfortable I am with everything, I might break this out, but I've been walking for the last 3.5 weeks on my own. I'm feeling pretty good about it. So let's talk about shoes. I actually have a whole video about this product called Even Up, but I'm gonna talk about it again. It looks like this and that. And my doctor recommended that I look into getting one of these for when I was starting to do low weight bearing, which basically means when I was starting to start walking again, that I needed something that would give me a little bit more height so that it matched my boot, so that my hips and my walking position was more even. So I did order one of these and I used it quite a bit, and I actually pretty much ended up exclusively using this at home because I also decided that I wanted to get something a little bit more stylish or something I felt like I could go out in. So I got myself some platform shoes, which are these. So you can see they're platform, so they're thicker on the bottom. It was comparable to my Even Up. So, this is kind of gross, but guess which shoe I've been wearing? Clearly this one. This one is a dirty worn shoe and this one is still a brand new shoe because this was the shoe I was going out with. So anyway, just kind of funny Achilles related things. What I ended up doing was I would wear my Even Up shoe inside because at my house we usually do no shoes on inside. So this one was kept more clean. And then whenever I was going outside, I would put on my platform shoe. So I thought that was cool. If you're I would recommend doing something like this too if you're interested. This shoe was probably around $30 or $40. I don't quite remember, not very expensive. My platform shoes, I think these were about 60 bucks. Also, I think not too bad, especially for shoes. And so you probably don't need both, but I ended up getting this first before deciding I wanted to do this per a recommendation from one of my friends. I don't know, I like just like some things to consider. You could get both like I did, have one for inside and one for outside also, so just something to think about. And I also just like, I really like these shoes. Like I'm excited to wear these shoes again, like just for normal everyday use. So I think that's important too. Like get yourself something that you feel like you like and you'll wear like in your normal life also. Okay, so from there, actually, like I said, 3.5 weeks ago, I got my boot off and I was just walking. My doctor told me just to like start practicing walking. And in the appointment that led up to that appointment, he said to bring my right shoe to my next appointment. And so I brought this shoe, like I brought my right shoe from the platform shoes. And you can also see that they're considered mid-rise. Like they go up a little on the sides. What I ended up discovering was that this shoe actually goes right up against my Achilles, and it was pretty much like unbearable to wear. Like it really hurt. Like I felt like I couldn't walk in them. It kept rubbing up against my Achilles and like causing me so much pain. That was at the very beginning. I think I tried wearing them again recently and I was like, absolutely not. This does not work. So I still love these shoes and I'm excited about wearing them again eventually. But for now, I'm not wearing them, and they definitely served a good purpose for me during my boot wearing chapter. So that's these shoes. From there, I actually just switched to my normal like everyday tennis shoes and found these shoes to be so comfortable, and it was just like easy. It was just like these shoes that I already have, which is these ones. They're Nikes, and I'll also make sure to link all the boots and the shoes and the things in the description below if you want to check them out for yourself. But I love these shoes. They're very lightweight. My PT actually said she thought that this was really good cushion for my foot also, and might be like elevating a little bit, and it doesn't rub up against my Achilles, most importantly. And so overall, I'm just like, I love these shoes. I like loved these shoes before I had the injury also. So just overall, highly recommend these. And I also wanted to bring over another pair of shoes that I tried that I had already owned at home that I surprisingly had issues with again with my Achilles. And that is these shoes. These are also Nikes. These were shoes that I originally got just for the gym. And so I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll like wear these shoes at home around the house because they're cleaner, and then I'll wear those other shoes outside because like it's just easier to walk around in shoes. And so I tried putting these on, and it doesn't look like it, but like it goes up enough on my heel where it is unbearable again. Like it rubs up against that Achilles area and it hurts so bad. So surprisingly, I have not been able to wear these shoes. I put them on once and I was like, absolutely not. That's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to go over for today. That's been my shoe journey with these different chapters of my Achilles tendon rupture. I hope this was helpful, and you know, if this is the first video that you found of mine that relates to Achilles tendon rupture issues, I've made a whole series of videos going all the way back to the very, very beginning when I first found myself with this injury when I was playing basketball in my rec league back in January. So I'll make sure to add a link in the description below for all the videos in the series. I basically went to YouTube when I first found myself in this injury and watched a bunch of videos, especially from people who were sharing their stories. It was so comforting to me, and I felt like just like I had more clarity and understanding around what it was gonna be like for me. I basically wanted to do the same thing back and share my story. If you're new, I would love for you to be a subscriber. And also, my name is Alexa. I make videos usually on this channel about design, careers in tech, and what it's like living and working remotely in San Diego, California. So if you're into any of those things, I would especially love it if you'd be a subscriber. If this video was helpful and useful, it'd be great if you could give it a like. Helps me better understand if this kind of video is useful and good, if I should keep making stuff like this. Yeah, I think that's gonna be all for now, but I do hope to see you in that next video. All right, bye.